Okay, now that we're back down from my shed roof, we can look at the state of nature and Thomas Hobbes. Hobbes was what we call a state of nature theorist. He tried to understand what life was like before we had functioning social institutions such as the state or government. He's asking a simple question. If you were a caveman or a cavewoman or a hunter-gatherer living in a pre- or proto-civilizational environment, what would your life be like? I'll look in more depth at the state of nature in the next session, but for now I'll say this. Hobbes felt that the state of nature for our cave people was a pretty miserable affair. In the most famous Hobbes quotation of all, life for our cave folk was solitary, poor, nasty, brutish and short. Okay, Hobbes thought cave people had miserable short lives. So what? What does that have to do with world politics? At first glance, nothing at all, but for some realists it's a starting point. Back in 1959, Waltz asked a seemingly simple question: why do we have war? Or put another way, where are the major causes of war to be found? We don't look for the causes of war anymore for reasons that I will explain in the coming sessions. But Waltz argued that there were three places we should look for the causes of war: within man, within the structure of the separate states, and within the state system. The third point there, the state system, leads to what some regard as neo-realism. For the neo-realists, the state system is the most important thing to look at in international politics. But let's look for a moment at the first place, within man. This is where what's known as classical realism comes from. I'm going to broaden out man to human, but in future sessions we'll find that there are good reasons why we might not want to do that. For Waltz, there's something about human nature, something about the human condition that leads to war. Realists take Hobbes' view of the state of nature and apply it to Waltz's first cause of war, man or human nature. Then they take that human nature and apply it to Waltz's second cause, the structure of the states. But most importantly, they then take the pre-civilizational world in which our cave people are living and apply it to the third of Waltz's causes, the state system. There is no world government, there's nothing ultimately above the states, and as such, the states will behave as they like. But the way that the states behave is largely conditioned to be in a fairly awful way, because of that human nature on which they're built. As such, states, like Hobbes' humans, will seek power. Hobbes said that humans have a perpetual and restless desire of power after power that ceaseth only in death. For the realists, the states are the same. They too will seek power.